Hello. Kailangan. Today is Sunday of hammering, guys. My neighbor is hammering at the wall next to me. So I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, he's working next door. It's 6 a.m. Yeah, here it's 10 a.m. So we have 4 hours of difference between you and me. I think that now that we're in Gemini, first of all, if someone can let me know if you guys can hear me. because I don't know if this mic is working. But since we are in Gemini season, I believe that it's important. Thank you, Daniel. I believe that it's important that we start a very important conversation in here. Um, First of all, I do have an order for seasons, except if something happens with a specific artist, I do pull cards for that person, or if it's like a romantic dynamic that is not about, future, it's more like, what's in there. Um, but when I say, in this, I noticed in the community post, I'm requesting Gemini idols or artists, and people just drop random names of people that have nothing to do with Gemini. I am very organized and also I'm very respectful to each season. This is how I do the readings for 2025 individually. So if it's Gemini season, it's for Gemini people. Um, to all the other artists that you mentioned, they had their seasons, they had their birthdays. I have read for them. If you want to go and check it out, it's on a playlist, it's on my live stream. So I don't understand why people just throw random names, just like, as if I don't notice the like the lack of understanding that you guys have about tarot readings. I don't know if you think that if you spam a comment section, you're going to get the reading that you want. That's not how I work. Um, about Kim Ji-won, I read for Kim Ji-won. I have a lot of readings about her, and I don't know about this woman because I read for her a lot of times, and people are so obsessed for her. Like, I don't understand why people are so obsessed with tarot readings about this girl, because I do see her energy just being very focused on herself, her work, um, what's available for her. She seems to be a very private person. So I don't understand why people are so obsessed with her love life. Why do you guys project so many things on this girl? Like, I'm not going to read for her every 3 seconds, because I don't understand what you guys are looking for from someone like her or her energy. Or if you think that, oh my God, she's dating so and so. The same about this person. Like, I know this person had sent a very nice message to me about past readings. I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for the feedback. But the Suho Jisoo relationship that you say is an interpretation of yours. I never said Suho was dating someone like Jisoo. I don't do that. So I think that I don't read for speculations, because just like you, that you think that Suho and Jisoo had or have a relationship at some point, there's another fans that think about Suho and this person, Jisoo and this other person. And it's like, have we had like some dating news between these two people? Have we had like evidence, proof that they were something at some point? No. So, let's organize ourselves. Like, what are we asking to the tarot? Because for me, this is not a game. And, I respect if you guys have your ships and if you support this person and the other person and you find them cute. I'm also a person, I'm also a fan. So I understand that you guys like certain people and you would like certain people together. But, this is not the moment to ask a reading about that. And also, do not take my readings as evidence of, oh no, I think that this is the person, this is the person, because this person is an earth sign, so it must be this person. No, guys, it's not like that. It's not like that. I think that we should be respectful to the idols, to the artists, and start separating things. Um, because I know that EXOs are very protective of EXO members, and I also I do love them myself. I don't know much, but I do love EXO, and I also have a lot of respect for the Blackpink members as well. And I noticed that there's a lot of readings. Like I was the first one that I was so against. Oh, I was so uncomfortable with reading about Jisoo and this other person that people kept bringing it up, and they were like, years would pass, and they would still drag Jisoo and this other person. And I'm like, why don't you guys leave the girls alone? Like if they're dating, you know, let's wait for a confirmation, or let's wait to see proof, or let's wait to see pictures of them together, or let's wait for something, that I can work with. Um, I remember when the whole thing with Jennie and B of BTS, when it happened, the video of them walking in Paris, I believe it was. I was so shocked myself. I was like, that's not them. Um, when I saw it, because people shared it with me, and it was so interesting because actually the live stream before that video came up, um, there was a keynote source in Jenny's readings. I just happened to be reading for Jenny, and I was like, who is this keynote source? And we spent that whole live stream, just the four people that we were in there, we were like speculating who this person could be. Because it was just a precious moment, because like it was so interesting, because it was I didn't have many people in my community. It's just like now, that I usually just talk to one or two people in the chat, and we were just chilling, we were just hanging out. I was doing the live stream, and when I was reading for Jenny, I got this keynote source, and I was like, who is this person? Because she never, until that moment, I never felt like the strong presence of someone in her readings. Like I never seen, like, or at least picked that energy for being like, okay, let's stop a bit. Who is this guy? And then when the pictures, well, the video happened, and everyone going crazy, and we were like, oh my God, that's the king of swords. And that's a funny anecdote of this channel. Um, but it's just those moments, see, when I read, I say something, and this is the beauty of this. I say something that maybe, it happens in this very intimate moment between people that watch my live streams and people that just don't know my content, and we share this, and then we talk about this, and we were like, they are like, this happened, you should read about this because this happened. And this is the beauty of having a community, of like, I believe that even though I'm the one that pulled the cards, I am what I am in this channel, and I was able to grow because of my community and because of people's recommendations. This is why I get super on the defensive when people start asking random things, because this is not about to satisfy a personal need. I mean, I do have fans, I do have clients that they are like, I will buy a reading for you because I like this too, and I want to see if there's something going on. And they do buy it, and I do respect, and I do the reading, but it's private. That reading is private. It's not taking anyone's time. But in the case of the channel that is public, I want to deliver readings that are good for anyone that is like interested in hearing them, or that are fans of different groups. This is why sometimes I choose actors, sometimes I choose different artists. It depends on how popular they are. I ask for new names, um, because this is not going to be the typical um, channel that is all going to be based on BTS and Blackpink members, and just readings about them. No, we do have plenty of artists, and I'm not going to be reading on the popular people and keep repeating myself, like pulling cards for something that is not there. I at some point I said it, when it comes to shippings and when it comes to people, sometimes when I pull cards for certain random, like I have the series of unusual ships that are these duos that people, think that they're together, and it's so unusual, but someone made it up. And I do pull cards for that. And sometimes, in some unusual ships, there's something going on. And I do say it. But when I don't see anything, or I don't see the point in reading, I see a name. This is how I feel. I see a name, I see two people. You request two people, and I'm like, why? I don't feel the need to pull cards. I'm like, that's not like I don't have to pull cards to let you know that that's not. Mm, no, let's reformulate something, because it's not there. It's not like that. But well, I think that the communication is key, and I want to let people know how I work, because I'm sure that there's people that enter my channel for just to watch what they want to watch, and then they leave. So they don't know how we work, or they don't know how I work. But I do have a system, and I do have a structure in my readings, and I'm not going to get out of that unless something happens that is so entertaining, that catches my eye, or that me and the community, we are so like, oh my God, what is this? And we read about that. But I don't know. I think that that honoring Gemini season, I think that it would be very nice to do a series of readings about gossip. Because now that we think about the Gemini energy, the communication, sometimes there's a lot of communication going with Gemini placements. There's this overstimulation of like, did you hear this? Did you know this? So I think that it would be very interesting to do a series of readings about gossip in K-pop. You name a gossip, you name a particular gossip, and I will put cards for that. Okay. I'm drinking mate constantly because my throat is not recovered yet. So this is why I do it. Okay, I'm going to start with the readings. I'm going to start with Itzy Jeji. Okay, for Itzy Jeji, we start with the Handman. We start with the Handman, Seven of Cups, Eight of Swords in the middle, Five of Cups, Five of Wands, and we have the Ten of Pentacles for her. Legacy is the keyword. So what is going on with Jeji? I don't know. I think I read for her solo. Was it solo debut? And I think she got, I don't remember exactly, but I think that she got very positive cards. And now I'm seeing her energy being so stuck, so stuck, so helpless, so like, what is going on with her? I think that she feels like this sense of stagnation, like I cannot even advance creatively. I don't know if someone is holding her down. Definitely the last card, the Ten of Pentacles legacy, it also has to do with the company. It has to do with maybe how long she has, I don't know how long she has been doing this. Maybe it could be like also a period of 10-year period. There's a lot of weight. There's like heavy burden on her that it first of all is in her mind. I think that it's not about her being overworked, but there's something that mentally she feels like I have no way out. I cannot move the way I would want to move, or I cannot do what I want to do. I feel like my dreams are also tied. There's something about her being offered different things, but at the same time, there's like, yeah, there's like people offering things to her, but there's also this pause. It's like, yeah, we did offer you this, but we keep you waiting nonetheless. Like we keep you waiting, we keep you hanging, we keep you in there. um I think that this is why these are periods, or maybe 2025 it's a period of a bit of deception, I would say. Like, I waited while when you guys told me to wait, or I didn't do this because you guys told me that I was going to have my chance, or I was going to have this, or the group was going to have this. I think that as a leader, I believe she's the leader. She's worried. She's worried. She's not happy. She's not happy. There's a very uncomfortable feeling of like I don't feel, I don't have the space to grow, or my group doesn't have the space to grow. So this creates a very um, bitter-sweet kind of feeling where she actually can get a bit like um, I don't want to say aggressive, but there's something about her being like, I'm not comfortable, so I probably will have issues with people, because she has to let it out somehow, or she has to express it somehow. Um, and there's something about her also with the card of legacy and the Ten of Pentacles, that um, it feels like the legacy, or maybe the company, she has so much respect to this, and this is probably why is she's being put on hold. I would say she's like, I would react, but because I respect the company, or I respect their legacy, or I respect this person, or I respect this CEO, I will not say anything. So she's very hopeless. She's very hopeless. She's like, um and probably there's a lot of things that she doesn't say out loud. So, for a Gemini person to not being able to express her ideas or her perceptions, also she's not feeling inspired to, like, oh, I have an idea, let's do this. I think that she can't, because probably the concept has already been decided or has already been delivered. So there's not room for her. Like, she's like, actually, you guys don't need me because you make all the decisions for me. It's just that, we start with the Hangman and the Seven of Cups. So there's this illusion, there's something about them promising something to her or being like, you wait, because you're going to have this that is going to be for you, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to give you a lot of possibility for growth. So, keep dreaming, keep fantasizing about what you want to create, because we will give you the tools to create this. And then there was a stop, or then there was silence, or then there was an interruption. So, and these dreams and aspirations and fantasies of what it could have been, it didn't came true. It didn't come true. So we start the year probably just feeling like pendant in the air, feeling stuck, feeling like you don't understand what went wrong, because there were so many possibilities or so many options where this could actually have been really good. But I don't know what happened, if there was a stop in the processes, or if there was a stop in the efforts. Something happened that is just put this project on hold. um, or actually, I think that, when I think about the Handman, and I know she has a moon in Pisces, I believe. So, seeing the Handman and also seeing, the Seven of Cups is giving me like, somehow it's like a very sacrificial poster. Somehow you have to be put in this uncomfortable position so you can observe and learn that maybe these Seven of Cups, these that they were offering you, they were all illusions. Because I don't see pentacles here except this Ten of Pentacles at the end. I don't see pentacles. So I think that if they were promising to her money, status, like, I don't know, um, personal gain, I don't see numbers here. I don't see value. I don't see, like, like, oh, this created this, and this is why you earn this, or this is a gain for you. No. And this is why, with the Eight of Swords in the middle, I think that she has started to overthink again. Overthink her reality, or overthink her, like, why was I such a believer, or why was I a fool that I believed what they promised me. They promised me this, and I believed it. And usually there's a lot of, like, idols that go through this. This, like, I feel the deception, because they promised me this and they didn't, it wasn't a reality. It didn't come true. So, I'm a fool because I believed them, because I waited for things to be different, or I waited for a resolution that never happened. So maybe, it's changing her spirit, I would say, her ability to enjoy. um, I think that she's not, her energy doesn't feel vibrant, doesn't feel, she feels a bit moody, contradictory. The Five of Cups and the Five of Wands, like her feeling a bit sorry for herself, or feeling a bit sorry for others, for her projects, for maybe the group. The Five of Wands is like, again, there's like some discussions with people, or there's some disagreements, or there's some arguments. So it's tough, seeing all these fives in here. Um, but if someone is asking, like, is she going to leave the company, or is she going to stand up against to the company, or if she's going to, I don't know, like, fight them, or, like, confront someone about this that she's feeling with legacy, with the Ten of Pentacles, is a no. Is a no, because the company or the legacy or what this company represents for her is bigger than all of this that she's feeling. So she's probably is not going to say anything. She's going to battle everything inside, and just being bitter for a while, but just continuing to work for the company and support the legacy and support their vision and being the leader that she has to be. She's going to do all the duties. But inside, she's not satisfied. But, the Ten of Pentacles also lets me know that, that maybe, I think that I said this about this company, about JYP company, that there's something about them having people that their main trait is that they are very loyal or they are very respectful to legacies. So even though they feel a huge discomfort and there are moments where they don't want to be there, they will not resign. They will keep being there, even if they are not happy. So yeah. So if you feel sorry for them and if you want to complain to the company, it's useless. It's useless because they will remain loyal to the company. They will remain loyal to JYP. I don't know what kind of brainwash they do in there, but they have the most loyal leaders in JYP. I think that probably the only one that I believe was able to get out of there, it like GOT7 and JB is the leader and GOT7. But I think that that's because of the push of the group as well. The group pushed the leader, and the leader, was like, okay, I will take the lead in this. Just like the leader that I am, I'm responsible for my group, or I'm responsible for my people. So I will stand up, or I will confront these people because of my group. My love for my group is bigger than, the legacy or the respect that I may have to this company. But they do have very loyal people in JYP. This is why I think that it's really hard for these people to be like, I will confront them and just get out. No, they will not leave. Even if there's moments like this, moments of like, you promised me this and I didn't get it. But there's also, I think that sometimes when you see this sort of behavior or this mood in certain idols of like, I'm disappointed. It's human to be disappointed. Maybe she expected something, she wanted a certain reward, or she was expecting things to do better. And sometimes it doesn't happen. So, but she understands that this is part of the business, or this is part of her experience. There's moments where I feel trapped, there's moments where I feel sad, there's moments where I have issues with people, and then I let it go and I advance and I keep working and I keep showing up. The idols, just like any regular employee, and I'm not saying that they are regular, but just like employees around the world, sometimes you don't support certain decisions of companies, but especially the company that you're under, but you have to show up to work anyways because they pay your bills. So yeah, it's not that personal, it's not that tragic. Talking about JYP, I think I saw a TikTok, someone talking about Bangchan of Stray Kids. I don't know what happened, that he had to also, he sent a message to the fans like, don't talk bad about the company, don't complain to the company because, we are fine, we are okay. And I think that that sort of clarification also, lets you know that sometimes fans take it a bit too far, when it comes to being overprotective of their, and they, it's not about being like, it's bad for you to feel protective about your group, but sometimes, just, I said this before, sometimes certain things don't happen, or certain, groups, or maybe an individual idol don't have their solo, or they don't have this work because they don't want to do it. And sometimes it's up to them. Sometimes they do have decisions. Sometimes they do make decisions. They are not being enslaved. Um, so there's this narrative around certain, people that worry too much, I would say. Um, and that they think that the idols are like, oppressed. And sometimes you do see the oppression in readings. I do see it. But I think that the oppression happens in any workplace. Like, this is not like, oh my God, is this that's happening is something that, and also it doesn't last forever. So if an idol has an issue with the company or with the CEO, they probably are going to make it up, or they're going to find a way to fix this, and they will continue to work under the company. So, why do you keep pushing it? Like, oh, because the company is a bad guy, and you don't know. Maybe they like it there. They like the way they are treated. They are being treated fairly. It's just that you don't know. You don't know. And I wanted to pull cards for Bangchan. I could pull cards for Bangchan and JYP, but I also want to pull cards for Bangchan and the fans. That I think that's also very interesting. Um, I should do a series, and if you guys are, if you do enjoy some of these ideas that I'm throwing here in the live stream, if you do watch the replay, or if you're watching now, if you do support and you want me to do them, please like leave a comment so I know that you guys would love the idea, would love for me to start this series. Just like I mentioned, the one about gossip, because we are in Gemini season, and Gemini is also about gossip. I was thinking, just like I did idols and companies, I could do idols and fans dynamic to see how the dynamic is in there. So how do they view each other, or how the relationship is doing? So if you are interested, please just let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you would be interested in watching, if that's a reading that you would enjoy. Just let me know, guys. I'm feeling super inspired this in these moments of Gemini season. I'm feeling like my ideas are starting to run like water. So please help me to make them a reality, because at the end I'm an earth sign, so I need to put them into reality, not just talking about it. Okay, I'm going to continue with the actor Lee Soo-hyuk. Lee Soo-hyuk, the actor. Lee Soo-hyuk. What is going on with these Gemini people in the Five of Cups? They are so remorseful. And he also got the Handman, except that he got it last. But there's a bit of they feel so remorseful about things. I don't know if maybe it's the emotionality of the moment, or this is like a specific time of year where they get a bit emotional, which, for a Gemini is a lot, but there's this, this feeling. Yeah, for the actor Lee Soo-hyuk, we start with the Page of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Five of Cups in the middle. We have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Three of Wands. And then we have the card of the Hangman, Surrender. I don't know if you can see it like this. Oh, it's because of the sun outside. You cannot see. So random. I don't know if you guys can see me because this. I think that is. I don't know how I can see if I can, because it's like it's lowering. There. There. It's better because you could see like the half of my head. Yeah. Okay. Okay, for the actor. Um, yeah, starting with it wasn't the page. I said the page, but this is like the Nine of Cups. This is the Nine of Cups. This is not the page. I said Page of Cups, but this is like the Nine of Cups. Sorry. Um, and the Wheel of Fortune, and he gets two nines. The Wheel of Fortune. I think that there's something just very, I don't want to say sad or melancholic about him. Probably it's part of his character as well. And maybe in Gemini season, it sort of amplifies this. It feels like a philosophical kind of, like, it's like a sense of sadness in him. I don't know if maybe it's the way he processes emotions or the way he sometimes wonders about his life. And about his personal circumstances, he can get a bit nostalgic and think about the past and all the possibilities that he didn't get, or all the things that he didn't get in the past, or maybe. And also, it's very interesting because I confused this card with the Page of Cups, and I was thinking, if this was the Page of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, I was like, there's something emotional in him. Like, I think that he wanted to start like a relationship, or he wanted to start um something emotional with someone, and it just, this is why we have the Five of Cups in the middle, because it didn't go through, like it didn't continue, it didn't advance into something. So with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like all cycles, very short cycles. There's moments like where he's really up, where he's like really successful. Because one thing I can say about this man, if you ask about his career or about his popularity or about his success, he's going to always be popular or successful. I think that the monetary or the power of profession and influence, and him having beautiful things and him being beautiful himself, he will always have it. I think that the issue in his life is not this. I think that the issue in his life, or there's something missing. There's something missing in him, and he knows this. Or at least in this 2025, he's going to start to think about, like, okay, I am successful, I am beautiful. Like, eventually I do see a project that is going to be very important for him. That is also going to help him, to keep advancing in his career. I do see something, on the works, something very important for him. But before all of this, there's this, maybe he started the year feeling a bit disappointed about, certain connections that he had, or he wishes he could start it. And when you start meeting a person, when you start getting to know a person, or when you start developing feelings for someone, and then that person goes away. So there's this feeling of like, oh, I thought we had something, but then, or maybe things changed and it became awkward. So there's this, I don't want to say unfinished business, but there's this feeling about him maybe when it comes to, relationships or connections, that he doesn't fully, complete a cycle where things can start to manifest in his love life. I think that they start great, they are very romantic, or they have the potential of being special, but then it gets interrupted and things change and the dynamic is not the same, so it cannot continue. Either he loses interest or the other person loses interest, or something happens and they have to advance without each other. So I think that this is why with the Five of Cups, maybe this man is a very lonely man. Um, but he's not lonely because he doesn't have options. He's lonely because, things, it seems like with the Wheel of Fortune, there's something about fate, there's something about destiny that somehow, it's not the moment. It's not the moment for him, or it's not the person, but he really wanted this to be the person. Um, but yeah, he has the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. There's something about him being perceived, and also he is like a winner, he's a very successful person. So it's like maybe people are like, oh, but someone like him, he must have a lot of options, or he must be really happy because he has all this success. And no, he does have everything. Yeah, he's very successful, he's very talented. I think that there's something about that whatever he wants, he has it. There's a bit of, um like, I think that for him it's like, I want this, and I got it. Like something like this, very lucky, I would say, but it's not luck. It's more um like he has this magnetism where people just give him opportunities, or they see him and they trust him already, and they are like, oh, why do I feel like they treat him like a prince? Could it be that they treat him like a prince, or they treat him like royalty? Um, but he seems to be someone that is very lucky. Like, he doesn't have to put much effort into getting things. But with the Five of Cups, he's like, yeah, I do have a lot, and I'm going to continue to work to keep having a lot. But at the same time, I'm feeling the void, I'm feeling the loneliness, or he's regretting, a relationship that he couldn't continue that relationship with someone of his past. So he's feeling very, very sorry for that. He's feeling very sorry, and very nostalgic, and just thinking about that. It's just that doesn't stop his pursuit of happiness. He's definitely, going to do very well, like professionally. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Wands. So there's new projects coming. There's projects being developed. With the Nine of Pentacles, there's something about him, being very confident about these projects. I wonder if he's going to be like the main lead, or if he's going to have a very important role in this. It feels very important for him, and probably is going to be very successful, because I see action. I see people working on this. But yeah, we have the Hangman at the end, and the keyword is surrender. So see, just like I said for Itzy when she got the Hangman initially in her reading, um, there's something about the uncomfortableness of being in this position, that somehow he has to stop and observe what is going on in his life and why he's feeling like this. There must be a very important reason why now, 2025, he's starting to feel all the emotions that he didn't feel a couple of years ago. He's starting to awake, I would say. And he's feeling sorry for this relationship that he couldn't save. There's something about him like, I could have saved this bond. He's feeling remorseful about this. I could have done something, or I could have said something. Um, But I think that honestly, I think that with the two nines is giving me like there's something about him maybe in relationships, him feeling overconfident, because things seems to happen very naturally and very much on his favor. So he somehow, um, he's sort of used to, getting his wishes come true, or getting, it feels like destiny is on his side. So maybe sometimes he takes for granted certain situations, and now he's starting to think about them, about like, okay, why am I feeling like this? Why am I thinking about this that I didn't have with this person? Why it keeps, bothering me? What is going on? Because I'm living a good life, I'm successful, but why can't I let this go, and why do I feel so nostalgic about it? Okay, I'm going to continue with the actress Lee Soo-hyuk. Let's see, for her, for 2025. She's very hardworking, very hardworking. And I see someone new for her. Someone that also is very diligent. It's like working slowly to get to her. Yeah, she got the Wheel of Fortune as well. So this Gemini artist, okay, for Hiri, we start with the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Seven of Wands in the middle. Eight of Cups. Seven of Cups. Again, this Gemini artist feeling so emotional. And Wheel of Fortune, cycles. I was going to say that she has been she has been working very hard on her projects, on her reality, but at the same time, I see someone working very hard and impatiently waiting for her. See, I see here with the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. This is like an offer of love. There's a lover, there's a potential lover boy here. There's someone that is interested in her romantically. And maybe this person has been interested for a very long time with the Seven of Pentacles. I think that this person is like giving her the space, is waiting, or is probably, doing his part and just being involved in her life, but just doing it from a place of like, just being very considerate, not being invasive. But he has, all these love and emotions. Why do I feel like there's also flowers involved? Like I'm gifting you flowers, um, and gifts, and I'm giving you, hints that I like you and I want to go serious with you. I have all these feelings for you. This is a very romantic person, probably a bit younger than her, or her age, around her age as well. But very actively, like he's not hiding how he feels. It's just that with the Seven of Pentacles, maybe he has been, sorry, um very insistently just, being very patient because the Seven of Pentacles is giving me that maybe Harry didn't give him the heads up. It's like, okay, yeah, you keep trying. Yeah, I know how you feel, but I'm still deciding. He's not that 100% sure that he is going to be her man. So there's something about him also being humble and being like, I will wait, or I will keep putting the effort, and I will just, be there for you, and just wait. Um, but in the middle, we have the Seven of Wands for Harry. So this is something that I do notice a lot about Harry, and I think that when I read for her and all this scandal that happened with her former partner and everything, and her being very open about it, being very vocal about it. Also, I do watch sometimes, her YouTube channel, her interviews. She's so much fun. She's very authentic. She's very like she has all this amazing energy. But with the Seven of Wands, is giving me this like there's something about her that I also feel it when she talks to people. It seems like she is very reactive. Like the Seven of Wands is giving me like if you say something like just a tiny thing that she can sort of like take as, oh, you're attacking me or you are accusing me of something, she's going to attack you back. So she has a lot of boundaries. She has a lot of not boundaries. I think that is resistances in her energy. And I think that people feel that. And this is not just about her relationships. I think that it's also about work. I don't know if there's something about her character that people really like her, but at the same time they're like, she's a bit reactive. Or no, I know, I don't go and talk to her because I know she's going to react and she's going to say something, or she's going to attack me, or she's going to, take this the wrong way. So I think that there's and it sort of makes sense because we have two cups later here. So I think that she's still not over this sort of heartache of the past. She still has to work on herself in 2025, because it seems like with this attitude of her being on the defense, she pushes a lot of people away. And this person that I mentioned, this Knight of Cups, that is very loving, that is very loyal, that is very, willing to be part of her life, she's pushing this person away, but also she's pushing others away. People feel like she is angry. People feel her anger. Even if it's about the most random project or conversation, she gives this energy of like, oh, if you say something, I will attack you. So, and I think that this is like a response or a mechanism to everything that she had suffered in the past. It's like she's not in this energy of the Seven of Wands just because she wants to, and she just wants to contradict people and wants to fight people. No, I think that there's some disappointment, there's some wounds, there's some deceptions. Maybe people were awful to her. Maybe she lost friends. Maybe she was betrayed by other people that you don't know. So, the Seven of Wands is here in the middle of the reading to let me know that she's still on this defense mechanism. So relationships are going to be tough. Just like this person started with the Seven of Pentacles, you do have to work your way up with her because she's not going to open her heart easily. She's more is going to push or repel people. So, and when I say this, I think that it also could be about her projects, people just listening or reading her body language and being like, oh my gosh, she has this attitude. Or, oh my God, it seems like I don't know, she responded very quickly to something, just like the Gemini that she is, She responded very passionately about something, and people take it the wrong way. People are like, oh wow, like, you have this attitude. I don't like it. It seems like you're attacking the other person, and the other person is being so sweet. So why are you being like this? People are, and I think that people have been, sort of like perceiving this anger that she has, this like protectiveness that she has, but that also comes from a place of like, I've been hurt. I've been hurt. This is why I believe that when I read for her at some point last year, I don't remember in what reading exactly, but you can go and search for it. I said something about that for me, even though she is a Gemini and she's very communicative and she's a very hardworking person, and she's not going to go away and take a hiatus because she's not like that. She's going to keep pursuing her dreams. But there's something about her emotional world that needs attention. And she has to stop, you know, giving glimpse of what is going on in her inner world to the media or to the masses. She has to sort of go inwards and just become a bit secretive, or some things I do keep for myself. And yeah, if you want me to act, you want me to participate in this as an actor, I will go and play this role, but I will not go on shows to talk about myself, because this sort of thing that she's going through is being perceived, and people are like, oh, why is she like this, like, oh, like, why? um Eight of Cups and Seven of Cups. I think that she will, probably she will learn to let it go. The Eight of Cups is about, sort of, she is a bit on the resistance side about letting go of things. Maybe she was, she was hurt very badly. She was, emotionally, she felt disrespected. She felt betrayed. She felt like this is something very deep and important for her. That it hurt her vulnerable side. The Eight of Cups is about you accepting that, that, yeah, it hurt. It affected you. It hurt your inner side. You don't have to have like a witty comeback to this. You can just go silent and heal, and also learn to move on from this, because it seems that she hasn't moved on, and maybe people are starting to notice that she's not healed. She hasn't healed yet. She hasn't, like, she still needs a few more months maybe. The Seven of Cups, it's also probably about her being very imaginative also, and maybe for her it's really hard to move on, because there's something with the Seven of Cups that it feels like an illusion. Like there's a lot of, I don't know if there's a possibility of her going back with this person. I know I said it in some point, in that this former partner of hers was somehow still part of her life, somehow, like, I don't know if it's texting, sending messages, or doing what, but it seems like she wants to move on. She wants to take, this very intense emotional attachment that she has. But the Seven of Cups is also like, but you have all these options. Like the door is still open. There's someone illusionating her, or there's someone like selling fantasies to her, or maybe, being like, but what if, if you move on, actually, what if you lose this? And what if this was important and you didn't see it, and you still have a chance? Or what if it's meant to be? Like, there's this, I don't know if she has like a friend, because I don't see the man here, I don't see the ex here, but I think that there's maybe, I don't know if there's people in her life that somehow they are like, maybe this person really still loves you, and you guys could have this, and then you could have, so it confuses her, but she also takes it. So it's like, you cannot move on because you still have this fantasy of what if. Because just like the Gemini, she's very curious as well. Even though she says like, no, with the Seven of Wands, she's like, you shall not pass because you hurt me. But then inside, when she's talking to people, maybe, in a very private setting, she's like, there's someone that is sort of, talking in her ear. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. What if I do this? Or what if, um, but it's all illusions. It will end up in nothing. It will end up in nothing. It will not be, but it leaves her hanging. This is why we have the Wheel of Fortune cycles. So again, I think that this year, this is not a year to make like a strong moves or a strong transformation for her. It's just about her going through these cycles, and just trying to heal the best way she can. And just, this is going to be just a very short time in her life. Probably it's going to take the whole 2025. But yeah, um, she should let it go, because I think that it's not about letting it go. I think that there's something about, I don't know if people keep associating her with what happened. So even if people see her in another project, they're like, oh, but that's the girl, that she had this issue with her former lover, and this happened, So it's sort of tainting, is affecting her career also, or her image. This is why it's so um and also I don't think that she can play. I don't know, maybe she has, but it's really hard. Maybe people in the future are going to give her roles about her not being someone's love interest, or about her not being romantic with someone, because it seems like she is a bit like aggressive towards a love interest on screen, even like you can feel the frustration or the anger. So it's sort of also like um interrupting her possibilities of, or maybe she's like, I don't want to participate in a romantic genre for now. I want to see if I can. Can you hear me well, guys? Okay, I'm going to continue with SNSD Yoona. SNSD Yoona for 2025. I know someone asked about if she's going to be successful with her next drama, um, and she got the Empress in the middle. So, and this is something that even though I didn't, when I read the question, I was like, Yuna is always successful. I think that the question is like not well formulated, because Yuna will always be successful no matter what. In despite of the men around her, because I do see the men being problematic around her. I'm not saying like a co-star, but is they are problematic.
she is the only one that is the queen here. That is like the professional one, the one that makes the project feel beautiful, makes the project feel abundant, classy, prosperous. But I don't know about her about her co-stars that are like, I mean, it's like. But also, it's a whole challenge to work with someone like Yuna because Yuna has this strong energy. She's very secure in herself. She's very abundant. She knows she works towards a success. She has this mentality that is very generous. I think that she is like, I don't know if it's the right way to put it into words, but for me, Yuna is like, okay, if you have a Yuna in your project, it's going to be a success. It's going to be a success. I don't know why I feel like it's like a lot, but I don't know why I feel the need to say it. um, I have the Empress here in the middle, and it feels very successful, and it feels like not just dramas. I think that in anything that she does, this is why she's so picky lately about her projects because there's something about the men not being up to the standards of what she is or what she's able to bring. I see very insecure men, so I'm like, okay, for you now, we start with the Emperor. Emperor, Two of Swords, the Empress in the middle, King of Pentacles, and Eight of Swords. And we have the Fool that is says take the lead. So see, this 2025 is going to be, especially now that we are starting, the Gemini season. It feels like, the cards are like, this is like a brand new cycle for you, like a brand new beginning. So you take the lead. This that you're going to be doing probably is very original, or is very new, or is something that maybe people didn't know about this, but it's very it has potential. So you go and take the leap. You go with this new beginning. You go and you're going to do great. um yeah, starting with the, I don't know about her projects, but it seems like it's the men that somehow are holding things back from her, because we have the Emperor and the Two of Swords. So we have this Emperor, this very authoritarian energy. Maybe this could be a boss, this could be a director, this could be a CEO. We have the Two of Swords. So it's about like, I don't know if we should do this or not, or I don't know if I should do this with you or not. So and maybe, I don't know, there was a bit of indecision, or maybe the person didn't have the resources to hire her, or maybe to give her what she needed. Um and and I also kind of see her, with the Empress here. I don't know if she is like putting her own money, or is she somehow investing, or she's like, giving generosity, in a very generous way, giving something to the project to make it run, to make it move. It's like, let's get this done, because I think that this man is not, he wasn't sure about it, or is not sure about it. Is not sure about it. So if you have this kind of leader that is not sure about what they have, and it's like a bit, it's like, but her, I see her very secure in the middle. Her being like, okay, what's the problem? Do you need money? Do you need me to do this? Do you want me to do this? I will fix this. I will do this. Like, what's the problem? I don't see her worried. I don't see her. I see her very centered. Like, her energy feels very, very feminine. Her energy feels very abundant. She's in the center of her life. So I think that the ones that are shaking a bit are the men. The men are shaking here. The CEO, or the whoever is in charge, is shaking. And then we have this King of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. So there's like, I don't know, could this be like the male protagonist, like the male lead? also just being a bit like, I don't know if I should do this. I have doubts. This is not easy for me. Yeah, I think that this year she's going to be like the mother of them all, because the men around her are feeling very, very unstable, just very doubtful, maybe overwhelmed mentally with what they have to do, and they feel like, oh, this is too much, or I'm not ready for this. And she's the only one here that feels confident, honestly. So yeah, and also with the fool, there's something about her. Maybe this is the first time that she works with these people, and he's like, okay, take the lead. Like, this is unusual for her to be, feeling like this, but okay, she's like, I don't know. Could this be that that the male lead could have some problems, legal problems, or some personal issues of his, so he could spoil a bit the things? But yeah, it's coming from him. It's not her. She is untouchable. She's an empress. So she's going to do her best to get paid, to get the money, and to get the success that she deserves. But this is a moment of change, of brand new beginning for her. So she's like observing everything and trying to remain calm and being like, okay, this is new, this energy is new, these people that I'm working with, it's like, you know they they are a bit lost. There are people like, when you have the emperor and we have a king of pentacles, it could be people that has been in the industry for a very long time, so these are not amateurs. But there seems to be some doubts or some worries in their minds. So yeah, let's see what, but that's up to them. Yoona is going to show up, do her work, being amazing, being beautiful, and just do her part. For the actress Kim Hee-sun, what is going on with this actress? I don't know much about her, but oh my God, is she okay? I mean, she's going to be okay, but she had an issue with the bed. Has she had like some legal battle with someone or a divorce or something like this? Because it feels heavy. Okay, we start with the Five of Cups. Yeah, King of Swords. We have the Three of Swords in the middle, Six of Swords, and the World. And we have from the other deck the Eight of Pentacles, hard work. So yeah, I think that going back to work or maybe keep working on new projects is going to help her, be better, move on. I see her moving on, but maybe this, she has been dealing with this deception, with also this, having this. I don't know if she had a fallout with someone. This King of Swords, it seems like a very also kind of, it could be like a manager or something, someone that knows about laws, or maybe the law is involved. In the middle, we have the free of source. So she's like, I don't know if she has been active, like working, um, but the free of source is sort of lets me know that this year it started, feeling very, um, there's a lot of heartache, or there's a lot of sorrow. There's a lot of things in her energy, especially after maybe having this fallout, or this fight, or this confrontation with this man, with the King of Swords, that I think that it it marked her, like it affected her very deeply. um I think that this person is also like he said something to her, or he, I don't know, maybe he released some documents. There's something just about communication being very aggressive, this person being very aggressive. So I wonder what's that about. Um, but I think that she's still, dealing with this heartache, with this sorrow. Is very interesting how she is dealing with this. Um, that I think that also these are moments where she has to be like understanding with herself. She has to be very understanding with herself, and also like accept that if she's feeling all this sorrow, or if she's feeling disappointed, or if she's feeling affected, mentally and emotionally. Did someone betray her or something like this? Because it feels very heavy. It feels like, this is not just like, oh, a fight between lovers. No, I think that this is accusations and a lot of words, that it feels very, mm, very negative. She's still going through this. She's still going through this. But then, as the year moves, we have the Six of Swords. So there's in advance, there's a change. There's a possibility of her getting out of this, getting out of this heartache, or getting out of this, bad, bad time in her life, or a very challenging time in her life, being able to see future differently, or maybe making decisions, or just moving, just getting out of that sorrow, and just like get out of there, get out of that suffering. You cannot stay in there forever, and I think that this is very courageous, and I think that this also, now that we're in Gemini season and we are talking about Gemini people, these all these sorts, it's like no matter what you said, or no matter how much I know about this, or how much I read about this, the Six of Swords is like I also know that if I put my mind into a new project, or into getting out of here, I will be able to advance, and she's going to do this. And we have the World card, so there's something about you know finally her space, or maybe her mind feels much more spacious, and there's a lot of plenty opportunities to choose from. I think that she also maybe can move, like move out, or travel, or just go in a different place, and just like get out of there. There's something about the cards being like, yeah, it has been tough. I know you had to listen to this person, or you have to hear them, being aggressive towards you, and being like all the time throwing swords at you, throwing darts at you. But you can also take your attention away from this, advance, and seek for the world of opportunities, seek for like a brand, a more a spacious and abundant world of opportunities. Like you do have a horizon on the other side. Like just change your focus, look at there, go there, move towards this. Like change. Don't stay in the suffering. Um, and yeah, the Eight of Pentacles, hard work. It's all about starting over. And I think that she is very intelligent. She's very intelligent, and she can work through this. She can advance in her life, and probably investing in a new project, or maybe going back to work on a new project, or on a new drama, or maybe on a new series. I don't know. if she has other talented. I know she's an actress, but maybe she has other talents or in another business. She can, if she focuses on work and just on perfectioning certain things and just keep her mind busy, she's going to be able to advance. But she has to, she has to put the effort, definitely. I don't know if someone knows about this actress. If, how is she doing? Because the cards that she got, I'm worried about her. Like, what happened? What happened? Okay, I'm going to continue with 17 Hoshi. Let's see, 2025 for him. A lot of people for Hoshi. A lot of people. Like, oh my God, this man is not alone. It's just that I think that there's something about Hoshi's energy that it feels like he's in the middle. He's in the middle of all these people. Like, this is not like about him, um, but he's in the middle. Like, it seems like, the reading is not his. It seems like the reading is all about others. So I'm like, what is going on with this? Okay, for Hoshi, we start with the Knight of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Two of Swords in the middle, the Emperor, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So we also have a girl. So it's like all these people like going for him and or maybe going at each other. I don't know. It seems very crowded, but I wonder, where is Hoshi? Like, this reading is about him. Why are these people here invading his reading? Um, and we have the Death card that it says, "Let go, let go." Yeah, he has. I think that the Death card definitely is the one that sort of gives a rhythm to the reading, because I think that he has to go through this transformation. He has to let go. He has to let go of something. Um, or he has to let go of people. I know that it sounds harsh, but there's something about Hoshi just being very much immersed in other people's lives or other people's drama, I would say, and there's not room for him. This is why I'm like, wow, like, why is he so absorbed in this, so caught up in this? Like, because he the only thing that I can pick for Hashi is the Two of Swords, that this is his energy. He's feeling a bit indecisive, like he doesn't know what to think, he doesn't know what to say, he doesn't know what to do, even because first of all, I think that he's always surrounded by others. Like, these two Knights of Cups, the Knight of Cups, not these two Knights, Knight of Cups and Knight of Pentacles. It could be, two members that, I don't know, maybe they have a unit that is these two members and him, or probably it's going to be, maybe, I don't know, maybe they are working on something new that is like these two members and him. So it's like free. Um, and he seems to get carried away by them. When it's like, yeah, they said that they want you. It's like the project is of these two, and he's sort of coming along. Like, he's like, yeah, we picked you to come with us, so you come with us, but we are the ones that are moving this project. So, and I think that the Two of Swords, is sort of giving me also this people's pleaser energy. Like, I'm not able to say no, even though sometimes I do want to say no. Sometimes I do want to say, I'm not sure about this. Or sometimes I do want to say something and I cannot say something because there's other people that are coming to get me. They are coming not to get him in a place of like attacking him. They're actually like the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles are very hardworking people. It's just that they take him along without even considering if maybe Hoshi has a different opinion because maybe Hoshi never stated his opinions. Maybe he never has like the possibility to be like, I think differently, or this is not what I want, or I don't want this. So he's like in this ocean of like, I don't want to offend you, but at the same time, I'm not sure about this, but I cannot say it because, I have so many things to do, maybe, that he doesn't have the time to express himself. And this is something that, now that I'm talking about Gemini energy and we are talking and we are expressing ourselves. Sometimes I read for these Gemini idols that they are not communicating at all. He's not saying something. Or if he's talking in automatic, but he's not talking about how he really feels or what he really feels about things. His mind, his thoughts are not in here. He's sort of caught up in the middle of other people's desires. So we have the Emperor, we have the Queen of Pentacles, again another very influential people like coming for Hoshi or being like, Hoshi, you should participate in this, or you should do this, or you should stand next to this eminence, because the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles, I think that he's surrounded by associations. Like there's something about Hoshi being, I don't know, maybe 2025 is him and others. I don't see him shining on his own. I don't see his individuality. I see him being like mentioned because he is fan of this big star, or he's going to have a duet with this person, and but it seems like he gets lost in these associations. It's not Hoshi of 17, Hoshi that is amazing at this, and this person that is also amazing. No, there's like this power, this imbalance. There's like this, like, oh, there comes the Emperor and there comes Hoshi. There comes Hoshi. Let's add Hoshi here, but it is like I don't see respect. I don't see contemplation. I think that everyone matters in here, but him. And he probably has been noticing this for a very long time. It's just that he doesn't know how to get out of this. And more famous people or influential people keep adding up. It could be an influential idol, an idol, someone that is very important next to him, an idol of his, maybe like someone he admires or someone that he respects very much. And then comes this girl as well. So there's another, like maybe a girl that is also like, I don't know, very successful, or she's like also like the queen of, she's also has like a legacy or something like this. So everyone is like um, cornering, Hoshi, and they don't leave room for Hoshi to shine, or they don't let him be the protagonist of his own life or of his own art. So it's interesting because I think that he is a good team player. There's something about Hoshi. He's like, this is at the end. I'm not looking to stand out, but he is. There's something about this whole people coming and going and asking for him that he's like, there's moments where I'm not sure if this is what I want. I'm confused. And if these people are fighting and the other ones are fighting, I don't know who I'm going to choose or what side I'm going to take because I'm not able to find myself. I'm wearing a blindfold in my life, in the spirit in my life. I just go alone. I don't have a saying. So I don't know. I don't know. See a lot of invitations and things, but I don't see like recognition or even like oh no, you're going to get paid a lot. I don't see it. Is more for like networking that other thing. And with the death card that it says let go, there's something about, the card of the death card being like, this cannot continue like this. You have to change your ways. You are going to have to face change. Things are going to change around you. So at some point, maybe he's going to be left alone with his own feelings. Maybe these people are going to go away. So there's something about like, okay, you're going to be standing on your own without any of these people. So what do you want? What do you want to do with yourself without all these people here invading your space, invading your ability to shine, or maybe your his ability to be a protagonist. I don't know, maybe fans of Hoshi, they know about him. I don't know, something. I don't know. I know he's a Gemini. That's all I know. Um, but the Two of Swords, is giving me like also the Death card is calling out on this. Like stop, like being blindfolded. Stop being blind about your options. Don't let people decide for you. Like take the power. You are important. You matter. So so yeah, I think that is important, that he should remember that. And maybe this year there's a lot of transformation coming for him, or there's a lot of big changes that he will not be able to be like, oh, I didn't see that happening. No, you're going to be able to see it. You're going to remove the blindfold and like, okay, what do you see? What do you want to do? Okay, I'm going to continue with Purple Goom. Purple Goom, the actor. Hi, Yoona. There's no one of the community today. I'm all alone. I'm all alone in here. Okay. Oh, we have the Queen of Wands twice. I like it. I like it for Parbogoom. I have all these wands in here. So, even though we're talking about, a Gemini idol, I think that this is the only artist that I read today that has the enough autonomy, power, strength, influence, and action. He's like so powerful, and he's going to take over the world. He's going to rule them all. Like and I feel him so masculine as well. So I'm like, I like it. Okay, we start for Parvogum. We have the Nine of Wands, Six of Wands. We have the Emperor in the middle, Six of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands that comes out twice. In here, we also have the Queen of Wands, that the keyword is determination. Determination. So, yeah, definitely there's a very influential woman in here, the Queen of Wands, that is going to also push into his life, at the end, probably at the end of this year, that this person is going to be like, let's go full mode. Like, I think that he is a bit tired, honestly. Like, he had a good experience. Maybe it's because he finished, this project. Maybe he's working on something new. He's feeling a bit tired, I must say, but he's working towards this nevertheless. It's just that I think that by the end of 2025, there's something about him probably, being like, um, I was the emperor, I have the emperor, I have the authority, I have the presence, I'm able to rule everything of my life. But at the same time, I'm also, his energy is slowing down. With the Six of Pentacles, it's like, at this point in this year, I'm a bit tired. So if I'm on a project, I'm going to give what I have to give. I'm going to follow, the contracts or what I have to do. I'm going to be diligent. I'm going to be organized about this. But probably, the intensity, the passion is going to run out a bit. He's not going to be that lively and that um that strong his energy. But probably with this Queen of Wands that comes twice at the end of 2025, there's going to be a Queen of Wands that is going to give the determination, or is going to give, if they have a project together, maybe the woman is going to be the one that is going to bring this energy, this magnetic energy, maybe in interviews, maybe, in other, if they have to present themselves, she's going to be the one that is going to be determined to, have this very magnetic attitude of like, I'm taking over this, and I know he's tired, or I know, he said this, so I'm going to complete this, what he said, I'm going to add more to what he said, and I'm going to do maybe other interviews, or I'm going to show up here. He's going to match his energy, because I think that um this year has been very demanding physically, and not just emotionally but also physically for Park Bo-gum. So I don't know what he's. I know he has been part of a very important K drama. People have been talking about this, but at the same time, there's this feeling of like, I finished it. Maybe, I don't know, could it be that this project, it took a long time, or it took a lot of efforts from him, because we have the Nine of Wands, and the Six of Wands. So the project is a success. It ended, very successfully. He also was able to feel the reward of like, I finally finished this, but it was so demanding for him. Maybe it was draining mentally. I think that it's not just emotionally. I think that it took a lot of effort, physical effort. I don't know what he was doing in there, but it seems like his body is affected more than his energy, or more than his mind. Um, Maybe he because of all the emotions that he had to put, in the character. Maybe, it took a toll on his body. There's something about his body feeling tired, but nevertheless, no one takes away this, how amazing this experience was, and how he felt. There's something about him feeling like celebrated. Maybe people celebrated him a lot, or maybe he won an award. I don't know, or he's going to. But it seems like his career is going to be very recognized. Like he's going to be, if he's going to compete with others, he's probably is going to be one of the, one of the winners, or one of these actors that has like a good career. This um, like there's something about him being influential, or him being on top of things, or when it comes to his career, you know we have the emperor in the middle, so there's something about him, you know finally um, owning his own experience in the industry, and being able to be this ruler. This like, okay, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. I have always been working. I had always been putting a lot of effort. And now, as the emperor, I feel like I'm finally being the ruler of my life, or I'm finally being recognized as someone mature. There's something about him. I don't know if maybe in the past people were like, oh, yeah, this actor is good, but, they always see him like this child, like this very young actor, or this not inexperienced, but there's something about them seeing him like green still, like, oh yeah, he's good, but he's in there. And with this, there's something that he sort of upgraded his status, and he became the emperor this year in 2025. So there's something also about the emperor being like, calm down, sit down in your throne, and enjoy the stability of your hard work because it had paid off and you were amazing in this and you put the effort and you work extra hours or you were really hardworking. So now feel proud, feel proud. Feel proud of what you had been working or what you had been building yourself. You are an emperor, you are important, you are an authority. And you can talk about your experiences as an actor or in the industry with a sense of pride. You know, you can be proud of your, your legacy or of your career and how long it had lasted or how long it took you to get here. I don't know. He somehow had earned a crown, had earned something, or is going to earn something this year. But there's something with the emperor also, like the cards being like, sit down for the next project. It's not necessary that you do that much. Probably it's going to be maybe his next project is going to be a bit much more. Um, I don't want to say soft, but there's something about him not having to put a lot of a lot of hard work physically or emotionally. With the Six of Pentacles, it's like, yeah, I do this. It's very even. Maybe also probably with the Queen of Wands, there's something about this girl. Maybe the show is like, yeah, he's important, of course, but maybe the show focuses more on the female lead, and she's the one that is going to take the charge, or she's the one that is going to be in charge of bringing this very like high level of energies up. So um and the Queen of Wands comes out twice. So I think that at the end, this Queen of Wands is sort of the one that culminates his year and is the one that brings the energy, the fire, the determination to give him a very successful year. And for him to also be able to finish this job, because I think that it's not that he's lacking energy, it's just that, he at some point he has to stop and regulate himself because I don't know what's going on with these two projects, but I don't see that they are overlapping each other. But something in him changed after he finished the other one. And maybe, when he said yes to this one, he didn't know that maybe the other one is huge or is so well rewarded that they keep bringing him along or they keep asking him about this project. So there's something about him going back to work on this one and him being like, okay, this is a new experience, I have to center myself, I'm going to do my part. Of course, he's so responsible, but there's something about him, measuring his efforts. It's like in here, I don't have to go all out. I can measure this because maybe, it's all on the female lead more than him. This is why we have the Queen of Wands twice. But definitely, this Queen of Wands could also represent, a very influential female lead or co-worker of his that somehow is pushing things for him to get a bigger recognition or for him to get an award that he deserves or for him to get much more opportunities. I think that this Queen of Wands um, is very important because it seems like he's going to slow down. His energy is going to slow down at this point because he has invested so much in the past that it's going to slow down. Because it's necessary, he's human and he has done very well, so he needs to slow down and also um you know take the praises, because he has the Six of Wands and the Emperor, so he has to smell the roses also, smell the recognition, like take it, take a seat, get comfortable, own your experience. You done great. You are an emperor. You are an emperor. Yeah, hope he gets to rest, go to vacation. Yeah, I think same. But the thing is that I don't think that it's about him being tired or him, feeling low in energy. I think that is the way maybe he processes work. Maybe he's someone that he needs to take a time off, or he needs to regulate his energy. He doesn't carry, the whole excitement or stamina of the less project. He has to sit, center, focus, and refocus for his next step. Um, it's just that this last project changed everything in him. It turned him into this emperor. So he cannot, just be like, okay, I'm done with this project. I'm going back to this. No, because they're probably going to keep talking about the other one. But it's good because maybe this other woman can take a bit of protagonism, because it's also important for her. She's also, I don't know who this Queen of Wands is. We're going to see her very soon, but she seems to also, you know, want to participate, and she has the energy. She can be a good match for him in acting. Okay, the last one that I'm going to pull is going to be for Stray Kids Bangchan, because I know there was something about him, talking to the fans on his platform and reminding them that that they shouldn't send messages or talk bad about the company because um, they treat them right. There's so yeah, let's see his. I'm going to pull two cards each for his company, and then I'm going to pull two cards for his relationship with the fans. Of course, keep it, if you are a fan of him, keep an open mind. I'm not um I'm not, when I read for him and the fans, it's not to be like, oh, because the fans did this. No, it's just to see the nature of the connection, to see how he feels about them. And if you're fans, maybe you can take this as an advice, and maybe change a few things if you feel like you want to change. And if you don't want to change, it's up to you as well. Okay, let's first start with a Bangchan relationship with JYP. Right. Hmm. Okay. Okay, for JYP and Banchan, sorry, for Banchan side, we have the Hermit, and this is the year of the Hermit, so he has the Hermit, and we have Justice when it comes to his relationship with JYP. And from JYP part towards Kim, we have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Five of Wands. And in the middle, we have, for their connection, we have the Eight of Cups, walk away. Definitely there's tension. Like, I think that there's something about maybe, um, Banchan did clarify this to the fans, but I'm like, the fans actually may not be wrong in this. I'm saying neutral. Like, I don't know much about the dynamic nor anything, but in this case, because I had been reading, I done readings for idols and their companies. So in this case, I think that Vanchan is trying to be correct. He's trying to, be polite, just like the Libra that he is, just like, the leader that he is. Uh, but I think that, yeah, there's something that is not okay. It's just that they are living out. This is why we have the Eight of Cups. And it says walk away. They are removing the emotional component of if there was issues in the past. There's something about Bangchan and the company just not wanting to get emotional about this or not wanting to get in their feelings about this. There's something about their connection. If there was some emotional connection with him and the company, there's something about this being gone. It feels very like, yeah, I'm nice because I work in your company, but it feels very proper, very professional, like, yeah, we are in good terms, or I'm talking positively of you because I don't care anymore. The Eight of Cups is like, I respect you, but I don't, like, you are not my family. There's not an emotional attachment. Like, sometimes people tend to romanticize, and some companies, they do have like an emotional bond with the idols, and there's some that do. But when it comes to Banchan, maybe something broke, something happened with the company at some point, that all these lovey feelings that we used to have, all these emotional connections that we used to have, is no longer there, and I'm accepting this. I accepted this, so I'm just being professional. I'm talking good about you. You took good about me. um and it's just professional. But with the Eight of Cups, also, it's like, the card is like, walk away. The advice is to move on. This is why maybe sometimes he's like asking the fans, guys, please move on from requesting this to the company, because they will not listen. I don't want to keep bringing this up. There's something about, probably he does this also to protect the fans. Like, don't get emotional, don't get in your feelings when you ask things for us, because I'm not in my feelings anymore about the company. So, it's like, stop, stop. Like, don't go there. Walk away, because it's not even like that. Um, so if the leader is advising you this, it's because he's also fed up. So there's something about, like, don't put your emotions in there, because you're not going to get something different out of this. He's trying to be polite, because he's not going to spill the tea about. He's not going to tell the fans like, oh, it's really, it's a reality. They done this and this to me. No, but he's also in the place of like, yeah, I accept them that they're like this. They work like this. I work like this. So it's a transactional relationship, no feelings. So don't put your feelings also into this. Um, the Hermit and the Justice. See, with the Hermit, there's something about him being like, the Justice is also like, I'm not that, I'm cold in this connection with JYP, with the company. With the Hermit, it's like, I'm going inwards, I'm reflecting on myself. I'm not going to say anything. Maybe we know that in the past he used to be much more expressive about, how he was doing and talking to the fans, and he had his own show, his own program and everything. I believe it was like a live stream also. But this year he's like in the Hermit. He's in the Hermit. So he's like, and also with the company, he's very cold. It's like, I'm not talking to you guys about anything. If I need something, I will deal with this on my own. He's been very proper, very professional, but also with the Justice. There's something about him. Maybe he has to go out and say something to them. It's all because of what he considers that is right for the group, or maybe he has to make like a request, but a very proper one. Also with Justice, I think that is more about like, okay, this is what we deserve, when it comes to, papers, or when it comes to, I don't know, what's right, or what's uh, um, what we deserve, or what the law says that we deserve. So, I need you to remind you that you have to give us this. But it's a very cold. Also with the Hermit, I think that he's very reserved when it comes to talking to the company. Maybe he's not talking that much. He's just talking about, the business aspect, or he's reaching out to the company for things about like the justice, or maybe things that he considers that, that needs some change. But it's all from a very cold and detached and prosperous But the hermit is like, I don't even bother talking to the company anymore. I'm silent. He's focusing on himself as well. He's like, I'm changing, they're changing, the dynamic is changing, we're all changing. He doesn't have like an inner, he doesn't have an emotion. There's not like, oh, they did this to me and this is why I'm this. No, Bangchan is changing. He's changing. He's becoming much more reserved. He's becoming much more serious. He's also thinking from a perspective of business. He's not taking anything personal. So this is why he's advising you guys to also walk away from trying to make this personal, because this is business. And if the leader says so, you should listen to the leader of a group always, um, because they hold the truth. And in this case, he's not hiding something from anyone. It's just that, in his connection with the company, it seems very cold. It seems like something got lost in there. It's not the same. So yeah, it's like, this is the company I work under, and I go and I ask for what is right for me or the group, and that's it. From the company, I do see them being much more, like asking things and being a much more reactionary towards Bangchan. We have the Ace of Swords and the Five of Wands. So there's something about the company, yeah, the company being a bit pushy towards Bangchan. They have some disagreements with him. They let him know. They probably are the ones that reach out the most to him. They're like, please, can you take care of this? Or please, can you do this? They also want Bangchan to talk more. There's something about them wanting Bangchan to create more content, or they are sort of pushing. Maybe they want. I believe it. How was it called? The show that he had, was it Bangchan Room? Well, they want him to bring that back. They want Bangchan to talk more to the fans. They want him to initiate open conversations. They want him to stay, um, you know, I don't want to say stay relevant. It's more like they want him to appear more in the media, just because, it's like we want, people to talk about you. So, can you say this, or can you do this, or because we want to hear more of you, or we want people to mention the group more. But there's something about them pushing it. They are a bit aggressive, and they are not satisfied with how Banchan is treating them, maybe, because Banchan maybe used to be very collaborative, or he used to be very communicative, and now with the hermit, he's like, I'm just staying quiet. I'm just staying in my cave. I will not go there. No, I'm studying. I'm meditating. I'm focusing on myself. I'm not. I'm not putting my energy up there. I'm not exposing myself like that. And also with the justice, it's like, you cannot force me to do this. I give to the company what you asked me. I did what is fair. But you cannot force me to go in there and just you know throw a show, especially exposing himself, because he's like, I'm responsible. I learned my lesson, so I remain silent for this year. Thank you. And they don't like it. The Ace of Swords and the Five of Wands is giving me like they keep pushing it. They have an issue with Banchan. They definitely see his resistance, and also it's very interesting because he got two major arcanas. So there's something about Banchan's energy feeling much more mature, elevated. His energy feels much more like, he's finally getting things about life and consequences. And this is why we have the justice. He's sort of like, I am understanding things about, consequences, karma, being fair. So this is why I'm staying neutral, or as the hermit, like I'm just focusing on myself. I don't talk about others. I'm not focusing on others. I'm focusing on myself and my group, and that's it. And they want Banchan to talk more. They want Banchan to initiate not controversies, but they want Banchan to open doors by communication. Maybe they want him to say something controversial, so it opens the gates to people speculating about the group. They want him to bring the drama, and him is like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not. Sorry. come up with another strategy. But they probably also want him to talk more to them, and he sort of they sense that he's distancing himself from them, and they don't like it. They don't like it. I can, with the Five of Wands, there's like a lot of confrontations, and also I think that there's something with in JYP maybe building, like they're I don't know, the staff or the CEOs, whoever, they are having these meetings like, what is going on with Bangchan and his attitude, why is he treating us like this, but the Eight of Cups is like, walk away, I'm not. He used to, maybe they used to guilt trip him a lot, or they used to use like, you know feelings or attachment, or maybe his emotionality, they used to like, keep him hostage of this, oh, because you love us, and and now he's like, I'm not emotionally connected anymore, I walked away, like I have no feelings for this is my workplace, this is I have a contract with you guys, but I emotionally I'm not there. I don't know what he saw, I don't know what he experienced, but he's not there's not emotionality with the company, and this is what they don't like. Okay, for the last one, let's see Bangchan and the fans, the relationship, the nature of the relationship, and an advice for them in the future. Bangchan, the fans. Mm. In here, There's emotions, but there's also a bit of like, just like any kind of relationship with an idol and fans. There's like this, when you had been a fan, or you had built this connection with them for such a long time, that there comes a moment where it's like the yeah, I feel all of this for you, but at the same time, these whole emotions and water and all this flow of emotions and feelings, it gets stuck. So we should review this and maybe stop for a bit, like, let's not get heated, let's not get this, like, let's just stop for a bit, let's stop the emotion, let's not um drown ourselves in this that we feel for each other. Okay, for Banchan perspective about stays, we have Eight of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles. Very nice, I like it. From stays perspective about Banchan, we have the Five of Wands. So they also bring challenges to Banchan, not just JYP, the fans also. Five of Wands and the Page of Cups. But they do it because they love him. Yeah. The Page of Cups is sort of been like immature emotionally, like, yeah, I know I was a bit impulsive, but I love you. I do this because I love you. It's a different kind of confrontation. It's a different kind of, but it's still aggression. Like, let's calm down, guys. Let's calm down. And also they fight each other. The Five of Wands is also conflict among themselves. So it's like, yeah, you love him, but stop fighting, please. And we have the Four of Cups, that the keyword is contemplation. Contemplation. So I think that from both parties, you guys should contemplate this connection that you have with him. Let's not, this is not about not feeling, but this is like, let's calm ourselves down. And what is going on that you guys are acting like this? Because there's something going on. The Four of Cups also talks about sometimes when you are in a connection, because of routine and everything, there's a bit of stagnation in there. It's like, yeah, there's feelings, but at the same time, there's moments where I don't feel anything. So in order for me to keep the emotion alive, I bring chaos, or I bring drama, because I need to spark these strong emotions to feel something. But the reality is that maybe there's a bit of stillness, there's a bit of stagnation in this connection where it's like, yeah, I love him, or we love each other, but we are stuck in this love. It's like, yeah, we know each other for a while, we have been doing this for a while, but there's moments of boredom, or there's moments where, yeah, I love you, but it's like, and you have to contemplate this, that this is also a state of emotions, that you're not always going to be like, oh, I love you so much to the heavens, and it's like, it's not always going to be 100%. There's moments where, yeah, I love you, but at this point I need to contemplate our bond, because it's like we are in maybe it's awkward, yeah, like, yeah, we love you, but not as much as other moments. So it's okay. Emotions change. This is why they are represented by water. But maybe people also have to review what is going on when you start feeling like, contemplate, maybe if you are not feeling that much emotion about a group, or you're feeling like, yeah, I love them, but I'm feeling like it's changing the love that I have for them, that also is normal and is valid. It's valid, to feel like, yeah, I love them, but sometimes I get bored, or sometimes I don't know what to do, or sometimes I watch their content and I don't feel the same rush as before. Yeah, because we change. Sometimes we like what they do, sometimes we don't like it. And the same thing for Bangchan with the fans. It's like, sometimes I love them so much and they make me feel so much, and there's moments where I'm just like, oh my god, please stop. Like, yeah, I love you, but you know I'm not feeling like, oh wow. um but it's very interesting, and actually, it's very admirable from Banchan's perspective, because he keeps working very hard for you guys. I think that seeing the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, he's a guy that he's working for you. He's working to for you and the group, because we have the Three of Pentacles. But I think that now we are talking about, his relationship with the space. He's working to be better. His perfection in himself. He's working to be a better person, to give you better content, to entertain you. He's working. He's putting the effort. He's like, okay, here, guys. He's also trying probably to distract you with actions or with a result. He's like, guys, I want to, instead of just giving you words and just, conversation and just random comments, I'm working to give you something material, maybe like something that you can grab, something valuable, something, um, you know, um, worthy of your attention. He's working very hard to have also a better relationship with you guys. So if you have an idol that is able to have this level of self-awareness, I mean, like, I'm working on myself, because I think that probably he's also mirroring him in his relationship with you guys, and you here being so emotional and sort of out of control and you fighting each other. He's also seeing that and being like, maybe, they are like this because, I provoke it. Or maybe they are this because I did this, and they, I guide them to be like this. He feels very responsible for the way you guys act. So this is why he's always constantly working on himself, and he's getting serious about this, because he's like, I don't want them to keep being like this. This is why I'm working on my tactics. I'm working like, in a very stable sense of like, this is serious for me. I want to show you guys with actions and with the effort of my work that we have to be better. We can be better. And we are a team. The Three of Pentacles is teamwork. So he's hoping that you see his efforts to be better. And he wants you to also be a good team worker, because he's everything he does, he thinks about you. It's not for him. It's not for him. But he's like, instead of, he's not angry, nor, there's nothing in here that he's like, oh, I'm going to tell them this. No, he's much more concentrated on results. He's like, okay, I don't know if he's working on a song, or he's working on something, but he's like, okay, I'm going to, work on this, and I'm going to, guys, show you this, give you this. So in this, you can understand what I'm about, and that this is how I'm dealing with all of this. Showing up to work, doing what I have to do in my role, not talking, or sending hearts and being all cute. No, he's like, I'm being serious in here. I'm working because I want us to be better, to treat us better, starting from himself. But yeah, from a stage, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Page of Cups. So yeah, I think that there's a mix of like frustration, anger, um, a lot of heated conversations, and Page of Cups, it's like they really love him. They love him so much. The Page of Cups is giving me also very young energy. So probably it's like the youngest part of the fandom, that they get very emotional, they get carried away by emotions, and they feel the need to attack. They feel the need to to um bring this sort of like battle, like, oh, okay, like, Bangchan, we are going to the battlefield for you, and we're going to defend you, because there's an issue here, because we love you, and we're going to defend you forever. He's like, there's no issue. I'm working. I'm working. There's no issue. I have a schedule. I have lessons. I have all of this that I'm going to deliver to you. But what are you doing? Like they think they think that Banchan and the guys are on survival mode. There's this feeling of like, okay, no, the guys are in problems, they have issues, we've seen it. But I think that probably the issue that they do have is that maybe the issue is in the fandom. The issue is that there's a lot of drama in the fandom. So they are like, we have to let the leader know, because we love him, and we have to let him know, that we are prepared. Just in case he wants to go to war, we are prepared. But there's no war. Banchan is like, I'm working for you guys. Like, what do you do? What do you mean? What war? What war? So I think that yeah, the maybe the fans have to sort of regulate, or learn to regulate their emotions. If they are very young, I don't think that they will be able to do that, even though they try to act smart, or maybe like, oh no, I know me, and I know it's not us, it's the company, or it's the others, but stop with the confrontation. Stop with the confrontation, because um Banchan wants peace, so he can keep working, and you guys are interrupting him with drama. So, and he's someone that he doesn't react very well to confrontation. So if you throw, unnecessary drama to him, he's going to walk away, just like the Eight of Cups that we've seen, and also with the Four of Cups, contemplation. He's also, he's not like, oh, I love them so much. He's in a place of stagnation with his feelings towards the fans. Also, he's like, it's not that I don't love them, but I'm also contemplating what is going on in here, why they are acting like this. I don't feel comfortable. Like, what is going on? I have nothing more to give you. I'm working for you guys. Like, why are you behaving like this? So there's this stagnation, there's this apathy. Like, I'm giving it my all, but you guys don't get me. So, I think that the connection, it should be reviewed, because if you guys keep pushing it, he's going to get resented. So you shouldn't push. You shouldn't push. Just like the Four of Cups. I think that is very interesting, and probably it happens to a lot of fandoms or some people that when you love something so much, or when you go through periods of like, oh, you have a lot of content and you have a lot of things, but emotionally there's something that you're like, maybe I'm bored, or maybe yeah, I love them so much, but I feel like there's something missing. Like I'm not connecting that much. And that's also valid. Instead of starting a fire elsewhere, reflect, contemplate. Like what is going on with you? Are you bored? Are you dissatisfied? Like, are you not happy? Like it's all emotional from the fans. Definitely it's emotional because from Banchan's perspective, he's working. So he's like, I don't know, guys, what to tell you about all your demands, but I'm working. This was interesting. I hope that you guys enjoy this, and if you do, and if you would want this to be a series for another idols, and the fans dynamic, it would be interesting to read. But yeah, now I'm going to go because I have been doing this for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah, thank you so much to the people that appear on the live stream. Thank you so much for your support. And yes, I'll see you on Wednesday if everything goes well. Have a lovely week. Thank you.